bound by the blood of martyrs.
We do have access to our med kits that remove traumas. So, how many of those do we have? Not many. We only have 2. So I think I'm just gonna wait until a critical moment in which I really need it. Las guns, we need that shit, come on. Good, okay. Then a knife. I don't know if Heinrichs and the other guys will get their equipment back, so I'll at least move a few things that I think I need. The stranger standing before you brings to mind a motley colored, long-limbed doll abandoned amid carnage in detritus. The bright colors of his sleek costume seem comical against the unremitting gloom and hostility of this place. Only the sorrowful horned mask that hides his face and the dark hooded cloak he wears pay tribute to the overwhelming air of hopelessness. Every move the Xenos makes sings with theatrical precision and a predator's grace. You cannot decide if this person is an accomplished dancer or a master assassin. We failed a Xenos test. You have never heard of such Xenos before. What is he doing in the chasm, and why is he standing before you now? The scrib of putrid flesh offends your taste. Oblivion comes now. Here its nocturne plays. I am that starlit strain that chills the soul, the piece that doomed throngs pitches into dance. You are among them, merchant vagabond, so tread the steps I say, escape fate's grasp. Forget your riddles for a moment. I am looking for my missing companions. Do you know anything about their whereabouts? What is this dance so intent on drawing me into? I have no intention of dancing. Before beginning a conversation with the rogue trader, it is customary to bow. Okay, let's ask about the companions. Whose life so dearly does the merchant prize to boldly now disrupt night's melody? Let's ask about Heinrichs. I already know where Cassia is. The one who mastered flesh's mysteries. The soul's enigma is what plagues his mind. All those who glint unnoticed by the rest, he now holds prisoner within his hall. That business done, we must resume our dance. What is this dance you are so intent on drawing me into? The steps you know already, vagabond. A knife-edge minuet? Minute you must perform? Between oblivion foes and your own friends, so heed my sonnet well. It holds the key. A melody of snarling agony, beguiling now, by rending flesh bewitched, through sinew, bone, and grisly pageantry. It calls the blood-soaked drape to come unstitched, a haggard chorus in the hall behind, their flesh employed to serve the maestro's art. No prayer for mercy slips from the throats confined. The baton sets the beat of every heart. And entrails are for him an instrument, and veins a living stave stains parallel. Yet death to him is no impediment, for corpses' tunes do carry just as well. Through spectacles of blood and gore forged past, should crave your eyes to glimpse sun's light at last. I shall endeavor to find the person whom you speak. I do not understand what you want from me, Xenos. If you are unwilling to relieve me of your presence, at least spare me your senseless verbiage. If you have an iconoclast tendency, the replies are summarize the puzzles, so you can pretty much decode whatever he's trying to say, which is cool. I know that because my first playthrough was Iconoclast. Okay, I shall endeavor to find the person of whom you speak. Then go and dance. Do not forget the key. Find the Maestro flesh. An indigo ripple passes over the Xeno's body and he dissipates like a bad dream. Alright. The Maestro he's speaking of is the guy I tried to enter his halls earlier and failed to do so. And now this odd encounter that will continue to happen. Pascal is here. Maybe he can pass it, but I doubt it. Yeah, well, it's just lore stuff if I remember, so. Meet. The master ordered that you be let through. Okay, let's pass then. The master gave his permission. The Hulk subtly moves over. Okay. I'm assuming Heinrichs is here. And my mercenary, hopefully. If not, we're gonna have to get Ulfar. I don't remember the exact steps to it, but we'll see. A bunch of our ship crews are in cages. It is a dream sequence, though. I'm not gonna bother to read any of this because it disappears as quickly as you. Conrad facing Theodora. Danruk is here. The whole gang. And then the dream sequence disappears. So, Mort? No idea who that is. Oh, Mort from the tutorial area. How did they get a hold of him? No idea. But I'm gonna do a manual save. And, in case I fuck up the Meister stuff.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
And there he is. The creature in front of you is a patchwork of skins, stuffed with darkness, corruption, and sharp objects. Staring at you with its scalpel eyes, it grumpily remarks, "Such a disobedient specimen. You're still not dead, an anomaly." Its foul, corrupt thoughts reach out to you, groping at your face. Do not touch me, you foul abomination. What happens if we do this? But see, you will soon become a very obedient specimen. Conclusive spasms, hysterical reactions. Come here. The creature pokes you in the chest, its triangular fingernail easily penetrating your skin. A strange sound throbs at the edge, at the edge of your awareness, a sound similar to your own scream. Huh? A grotesque spider-like figure looms over you. Its limbs wave frantically, chittering and clicking as they rip something apart, then stitch it back together. And you realize its canvas is your flesh. The Xenos gaze is indifferent, and his low voice echoes through the room. The sample has been extracted. The specimen is alive. Body and mind expected to function with normal parameters. Monkey. What happened to me? The control worm in your nervous system detected my proximity. It signaled it was dying by injecting a lethal dose of hallucinogenic euphoriants into your bloodstream. A resourceful individual. That thing in my head is your pet? The Drukari holds up the pale maggot, the same one you saw in Mirazashi's hands. As you watch, the tool appendages perform a swift dissection. The maggot's flesh bursts under the scalpel like a claw and blossoms into a disgusting slimy flower. The Xenos' slow manner of speaking creatures creates an unnerving dissonance with its frantic movements of his limbs. I grew the specimen specifically for you, Monkey. During your interrogation, it intoxicated your feeble senses to limit the unnecessary resistance. What a curious experiment it was. I usually extract control worms from your specimens. Posthumously, you possess some degree of bodily fortitude. The Xeno suddenly lets out a spiteful cackle, a surprisingly lively reaction for such a cold creature, which made for an unpleasant surprise for Dracone Murazashi, former Dracone, that is. That foolish whelp expected less of you, and you humiliated him. You ruined the trial and humiliated Murazashi in front of the Council of Archons. It gave me something to think about, a good specimen. Glance at the dissected maggot. Do you eviscerate everything you lay your hands on? You did a poor job training your pet if I was able to shake it off its influence. This good specimen desires a reward for his impressive performance. I demand recompense for all the outrageous experiments you have subjected me to. Your vile arts are nothing. Okay. Let's try this approach. The homunculus lets out a laugh of contempt. Recompense, you brazen scrap of flawed flesh. I did you an honor by lowering myself to interacting with your trivial organics branded by inferiority. Okay. Are you Tervantius? You are absolutely correct, specimen. I am Tervantius, the Arch-Machinator, homunculus, and the conductor of this place that staggers the imagination and soul. My anatomical opera. By the Emperor, I'll make you pay for your profane experiments. I am the rogue trader von Valentius, and I have not granted you permission to extract a single cell from my body. I don't think he cares. So what do I owe you now? I offer you my gratitude. Okay, let's ask. You will serve me, such as life in the spires. The Arbanian urged me to pay attention to your allegedly extremely gifted self, specimen. Let us see if you can make a good tool. You, a Drukari, would do business with a human, how remarkably open-minded. What exactly did this Arbanian tell you about me? This information should not burden your undeveloped mind. The Arbanian told me enough to give you a chance to enter my anatomical opera. That is all you need to know. What do you want with me? You will return to the arena of the fatal thirst. You will kill a few of those Weich's fosterlings for me. You might even spill the blood of one of the blood-stained proselytes. They are long overdue a small lesson in humility. They have forgotten their place. They lack respect. They do not appreciate my work. They fail to recognize my authority. Still staring into the distance, he continues the list of his grievances with a maniacal thoroughness. What will I get out of this? Choke on your own inhuman. I do not serve enemies of humanity, but I never turn down the opportunity to kill a few Xenos. I am afraid you do not realize with whom you are dealing with. Okay. The response is acceptable. If you behave like a good specimen, Monkey, you may eventually receive my help in escaping Komora. Obedience will be rewarded. Take your crude gear with you. I abhor such technological banality, but a creature as undeveloped as you may find it of use. As for your task, Abis and his brother, bloodstained proselytes, are here right now, in my anatomical opera. Go and look at the ones who will be your executioners when the time comes for you to die. Okay, and now we get all of our equipment back. Obviously, we just want to claim everything. Yeah. The sheer primitiveness of your technologies. Go, specimen, deliver the Terventius message of blood to the arena witches. I would like to speak with you about a member of my retinue who was delivered to you. Which specimen in particular interests you? He tortured my tech priest Pascal. We already cured him, so we don't have to. We want to know where Heinrichs is. The Monkey male, which a consistent connection to the veil, beautiful endurance for pain. His stubbornness produces high-grade essences of torment, positively frothing with agony. Wait until he is expended, and you may have whatever is left. What about Cassia? The female with an exceptionally strong connection to the veil, as well as a member of rare Monkey mutations, most notably a third eye. I am studying the influence of complete isolation from the veil and the outside world on the specimen's abilities, sanity, and physical condition. She no longer screams inside her reservoir, but she's certainly still alive, and I am not yet ready to conclude the experiment. There were hired bodyguards in my retinue. I would like to have them back. Specimens awaiting disassembly are kept in the pen. Or pin. Take whichever ones you choose, or you wish. Let's see if we can get one of Heinrichs or Cassia. Why would I, specimen? With a full escort, I would have a better chance of succeeding and contributing to your plans. Unless you want to lose a valuable specimen, you will release my companion immediately. Press your weapon to the base of your own jaw. I will not stand for you keeping my companion captive. Do not try my patience, Xenos. Let's try the diplomatic approach first. Then find yourself other fighters. The chasm has enough prisoners, mercenaries, and gladiators. My specimens are not yours to waste. Okay, let's try to threaten him. What a confident specimen. Do it. Kill yourself. I can always reanimate your body, but will I? Question mark. Okay. Do not make demands of me, specimen, or I might decide you are also in need of a collar. Okay. Once they have exhausted their utility, I will let you take the scraps. I require your aid, homunculus. You forget yourself, specimen. Go ahead and serve my will, and should I ever decide to show you a favor, I will do it so at a time of my choosing. We made a deal. You promised me you would provide help. Do not think of reneging on what we agreed upon. It is reasonable for you to help me. If you are unable to make yourself useful, I would rather wait for you to die and find myself a better tool. You should be worthy of my attention, not a drain on it. Made a deal. A deal? He hisses. You wretch, I do not make deals with the likes of you. I command you. And if you insult me by even insinuating that you and I are equals ever again, I will deprive you of the privilege of cohesive organic existence. Twice now you have taken advantage of my weakness. There shall not be a third time. Give me all that I demand of you, or you will regret it. Is there anything I can offer to repay a being of such brilliance for the attention he may graciously grant me? Let's try this approach. Your paltry possessions do not interest me. If you had something that could intrigue a master sculptor such as I, perhaps a remarkable piece of organics, then I might grant you a few short moments of my time. Master Tervantius, I require a moment of your precious time, and I am willing to pay for it. Before I do that, let's take our leave. I think that was the dialogue I used to recruit someone, but there's our officer. And I think she's back. Okay, thank God. They automatically just put back all I want. So now that we have our officer, let's quickly take care of business here. Maybe a generic talent somewhere. Perception or willpower. Could also get some more dodge, right? Yes. I'm gonna go with dodge this time. Okay. Ulfar should be somewhere here. There he is. Then Heinrichs is nowhere to be seen. I assume this is one of the pedestals here. This is where Cassia is. Maybe Heinrichs is here? It's hard to tell. Murzashi, we can have a small conversation with him. So, if you want to have him as a companion, this is how you start the segment for that. I don't intend on doing so, since I'm doing a dogmatic playthrough. So let's just see what we could do with this. Look, Carrion, is this one of the monkey that cost you your place as the Archon's side? Murazashi's eyes flare with a turquoise fire at the sight of you, an immediate, uncontrollable urge to kill. The Drakari sees the blades hanging from his belt and freezes at the shout of the metal-studded Xenos. Careful with the meat for the arena, Murazashi. If Sinisthoria is short on toys for her fighters, you will be punished again. She seems to enjoy pitting you against Chimeria. Maybe this time she won't deem it necessary to give you back your skin after all you slay them. The motionless Murazashi turns his head towards his kin, and you notice a thin red stripe on his neck below his ear, like a fresh stitch shaken with a barely contained rage. The former Dracoon stares at you with dark eyes. So we could address him. So Murazashi was skinned and made to fight like this. Well, this is a balm to my heart, and also a delight to my eyes, where something was still staring a while ago. I just wanted to get a proper look at you, humiliated, stripped of everything you were, and later I shall find a way to kill you. Know this, I will kill each and every one of you, and I do not care if you are champions or not. Alright, I'll go with this response. But if you want to recruit him, you want to start initiating this conversation. I think your kin do not seem very fond of you. And then you can convince him through other dialogue tricks to meet you in the arena and then flip on his comrades. For now, I think I'm just going to kill everyone, so... I am tired of this noise. We must go. It is time for our next training session. Okay. Let's try to recruit Ulfar.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
The bar of the cage is sturdily enough to stop a tank or the fury of a post-human. I don't think he'll shut up, so. Singing softly under his breath, the man of enormous proportions is intently stripping raw meat from a bone with his teeth. His unwashed red hair is falling into his face. His beard is matted and blood-stained, and the aforementioned teeth look more like fangs than any human equivalent. A less knowledgeable person might not recognize this giant humanoid, but you are well aware that this is a space marine, an angel of the Emperor. And we failed the test. His body is covered in primitive scar tattoos, the meaning of which eludes you. Hail, angel of the Emperor. Glory to the Emperor.
For us and the All-Father.
To your surprise, he manages to pronounce this phrase clearly and solemnly, even with a mouthful of raw meat. What do you want? Okay. We can listen closely to the song. I think that triggers something. You do not know the language. The sounds seem crude and mangled, but not entirely lacking the harsh dignity of a form of Gothic, while also sounding similar to the rumble of a landslide, sharp and choppy, guttural phrases trembling forth into a harsh rhythm. Try to join in the singing. We might fail this, but let's try. We succeeded. You close your eyes and enter the flow of the song, like slipping into a fast-flowing mountain river. Words rise up naturally into your mind. They are not the same ones sung by the prisoner, but you sense their aptness. Verse flows from your lips, full of surprising poetic metaphors and bloody details of a nameless hero fighting monsters under the light of unfamiliar stars.
You are the one who has supped the mjord of the Skjalds, I see. In the long haul, some of my brothers will be eager to tell you of their exploits so that you would sing a saga of their deeds.
Who are you?
I am a wolf.
Point at the piece of meat in his hands. Don't they feed you?
A predator does not eat only when it is hungry. There are many reasons to eat.
Yeah. Does it taste good?
I cannot recommend it. The meat of these sinners is steeped in corruption and frailty, as well as the foul substances they inject into their blood in vast quantities.
You must be planning to escape, yes?
And why do you want to know?
There's no option to... A warrior such as yourself could prove useful to me.
To get what you want, you will have to convince two very headstrong individuals. Me and my captor. That claw-handed Xenos.
Okay, we'll have to step away from the cage. And I think we're safe to
The Divine watches over us.
request his release. We do have to pass a check. And to start doing so, require a moment of your precious time, and I'm willing to pay for it. We gave him some chameleon skin, Curious, you have earned my attention, specimen. Speak quickly. I shall need equipment if I am to kill my enemies. My condition has been rather grave since my arrival. No, I would like to take the space marine you keep in your cage. The Monkey male with an altered genetic structure. Ah, such phenomenal parameters. I previously studied 2 other specimens of the same breed but have yet to untangle their genetic secrets. He also performs well enough in the arena. Losing this final specimen would be an undesirable outcome. Denied. If you do not release the Emperor's angel, his retribution will fall upon you. He doesn't care. With him, I would definitely succeed. Surely it is dangerous to keep such a prisoner in your abode. What if he escapes and comes for your head? Sure, the loss of some monkey could never impede the work of a mind as great as yours. Okay, we will try this approach. Perhaps the genetic subhuman of all 3 specimens was defective, and this is the cause of my limited success. In that case, the loss of the specimen would not be significant. Oh, perfect. I recommend pain as a means of pacification, and you can take his armor. I found it entirely unintriguing. Okay. Can we get more stuff? Arena Beast Claws. Curious, you may have earned my attention, specimen. Speak quickly. I shall need equipment if I am to kill your enemies. The servants are always dragging worthless trifles in here. I have no use for them. Find yourself a club or a sharp stick suited to your abilities. You could try something more advanced, assuming you are not afraid accidentally killing yourself with it. Oh, we could trade a few things. Nice. The wearer becomes immune to the slowed and immobilized effect. And, granting dodge until the start of the next round. The user suffers penalty to agility, willpower. Restores 15 plus Xenos wounds. Removes bleeding, burning, toxin. Heals 1 trauma and all injuries without skill tests. Okay, we will grab everything. And the gloves could be given to Space Marine, maybe. Okay. Can we, Curious, yeah, I've earned my... What happens if I do this? Let's see what kind of interesting damage your body has taken and which parts of your miserable organics can be improved without inflicting any substantial harm on your sanity. Try not to scream. Some specimens end up tearing their vocal cords during this procedure. Then again, you will scream whether you want it or not. Ah, that cleansed all the traumas. Perfect. Perfect. We don't have to waste resources, even though we should have access to our medkits again. I have 7 of them. Still. Alright, Ulfar. I need your help. The prisoner looks at you expectantly without stopping his chewing, but his expression shifts subtly, as if his affected crudeness of mind and manner has been replaced by focus and cunning. Puff up your chest. You, warrior, have the honor of standing shoulder to shoulder with the true hero of the Imperium. We have a dogmatic option also. Even a heretic or a non-human can wet a profane blade in the blood of enemies, but a true warrior of humanity does not fight for gratification or trophies. He fights to carry out his will, for that is his duty, and it is a blessing. Let's try this.
You speak well. I have heard these bookish words many times before, but this is the first time I have heard them spoken with such resolve. I see that you believe in them, that you live by them. I respect that. I will help you. Let no one say that I forgot my my duty to the Allfather. It seems Tervantius is not as clever as he likes to appear if he's letting me out of the cage. The joke is on him. Good steel I have already. But if we are going hunting, I will need my wolf skin. What did you say your name was?
Fuck yeah, let's go. Look at that fucking mountain of badassness. Okay, let's manual save in case we fuck up his tree, but I'll try to build him the way I built him on my first playthrough. Flamer, melee type. So, he already comes as a soldier, and just want to quickly glance over what he has. He can wear armors without incurring dodge penalties, but he can only wear specific types of armor, so you don't have control over that really. So, bunch of agility, ballistic, combat master, so we could safely just pin him next to enemies. Every time he shoots, he gains agility. Until the end of combat, the soldier's rate of fire is increased by 30%. Healing an ally with a medkit in combat restores additional wounds equal to Medicae. Using medkits cost less AP. Demolition, rapid fire, perception, bonus to parry, dual weapon combat, so he uses 2 weapons. Rapid fire no longer reduces damage. Demolition increases wounds by half. Firearm mastery until the end of combat turn. They gain 4 movement points and their attacks do not spend movement points. Okay. I feel like he's the only companion where they built him in a way that's good. Considering his archetype, you know? Right, so we want to gain 2 stacks immediately. We want to focus on ballistic. We want reckless assault or rush so he can move more. Once per combat, when a Death World character suffers the stun, blinded, or immobilized effect, the effect is ignored and they instead gain 20% of their maximum wounds as temporary stuff. Death World characters 10% critical hit chance. Wounded Beast. Every injury increases Death World's character's agility and willpower by 5. However, they incur more trauma. Less damage from fire, toxic, and bleeding effects. I think I'm gonna go with this. Alright, since we're not gonna have Heinrichs, if we choose to have him around, we might want to focus on athletics. However, I like having Heinrichs with me to build resolve, so... This is good to pick up on him. After ballistic, since he's gonna be up close and personal, I'd like to give him toughness. It's gonna scale also nicely for once we enter the exemplar stuff. We will go with this, make him even more tanky. Could improve his armor every time he gets a stack of versatility. More athletics. More toughness. And then here, you could go with this one. Athletics. Exploit weaknesses. Accustomed to glory. I think I'm gonna go with this. Toughness. Maybe a generic thing. Heavy weapon proficiency. He has a lot of strength already, so I don't think he needs that. Flame weapon expert. Flame weapon attacks cost 1 less AP less, or 1 action point less to use. Okay. We'll do that. Wildfire. Adaptability. This stacks. We might go with this, or for the sake of more mobility, Reckless Rush costs 0 action points. This is better, so we could use the Flamer up close and personal. Toughness, athletics. Okay, we will use a lot of Flamer attacks, and if we can reduce enemy deflection by doing so, this is good. This is also nice. And this is also nice. Wow, a lot of options. But I think I'm gonna go with this, so we have more stuff to do with him. Once we max ballistic and toughness, we want to go with strength. Agility is not a bad idea also, so we could start earlier. But he does have a lot of stuff that scale off perception. But I'm gonna stick with strength. Tenacity. Or a generic thing. Let's see. We already picked up Flamer. Could give her more movement, or yeah, fuck it. I'm going with tenacity. And with that, we've recruited an utter beast to our squad. Okay. Before we go back to the arena, I'd like to go back to the area where the Malice was and get my revenge on the Commissar. Obviously, it's better to do so with the full squad. We're missing one, but I feel like we could do this. Now that we have our equipment back and a proper badass with us. Let's see. He comes with a bolter, 2 bolters. Maybe we could switch to a... We don't have a flamer. And I'd rather give him this instead of a bolter as a secondary weapon. Even the Malta is nice. Melta. we'll try this for now. But I want to see if I can give him any interesting trinkets here and there. He does have Revel and Slaughter, so we can give him this. This might be better. This is perfect for him. Could do this if we hit with any ranged weapons up close, or sirening. Yeah, okay. Let's apply bleeds. We can give him some, oh, why not? Oh, shit. Cool. Next time we'll have to put at least one point in, Medicae to allow him to use medkits, but for now, we should be fine. So instead I'm gonna give him a bunch of grenades. Okay. Yeah.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
It's kind of a long walk. I suppose I could have used the teleport somewhere, but oh. Okay, I will probably screw this one up. It doesn't matter, it's just lore stuff, but if we get the extra XP, that would be nice also.
The shameful failure. The burden of failure.
Yeah, fuck it. That's fine.
Let us walk this path to the end.